Hey, everybody, welcome to Tuesday night, chatting with the Muskrat. Well, I just barely made it in. Come in sliding sideways. Just got out of the ground blind. It is a cold, cold evening in Ohio. Wind gusts. We were fishing. Fishing. See, that's all I want to do is fish. We were hunting Fayette County today, which is flat as a pancake. So 20, 25-mile-an-hour winds, wind gusts. It was interesting. Even in my ground blind, there was times when the wind was coming in the wrong way. About wanted to pick my blind up like a parachute and take it away. I kept clicking my heels together like the Wizard of Oz to make sure there's no place like home. And here I am. I made it. There was a bad car wreck on the way in. Took out a telephone pole. Roads were a little crappy here and there. So I've been home about 5-10 minutes to spare. So, but hey, first of all, I want to say thanks to everybody for stopping in. Looks like JP3 was first in the house at 6:57. Dude was anxious. JP3, avid fisherman, Michael Murillo, Mike's Outdoors and Adventures, Buckeye Catfishing. D is in the house. Thank you, D, for being here. Let's see. Zach Murray's in the house. What's up, brother Zach? Catfishing Crappie. Mr. Mark's in the house. Thank you for stopping in. Let's get on down through here. Let's see who else we got. Avid. I think I said Avid already, but just in case. Chad's in the house fishing with the squirrel. Oh, boy. Now here they come. Lyle's in the house. Lyle, hope you're feeling better. Hope that shoulder healing up quick. Hopefully you're just taking it easy, giving yourself time to heal properly. We miss you. Brandon's in the house. Brandon, thanks for stopping in. Let's see who else we got, if anybody. Hoping I don't miss y'all. Mike Sampson's in the house. I'm trying to get scrolled down through here. I'm not. There's no way I can say that right. I've tried to figure it out before, but Terrado Arco. Jacked it up, huh? Pretty sure I jacked that one up. Kentucky Big Cats and Bourbon. Thanks for stopping in. Jim Catman Clark. I got one screen faster than the other here. Jason Blackburn's in the house, fishing with Blackbeard. Catfish Headhunters. Squirrels in the, Norm's in the house. Ryan's in the house. All right. Looks like we finally got this thing off and rolling. Something I haven't done before, and I know a lot of other shows do it, so I kind of hold off on doing it, but I kind of thought it'd be fun to throw an open mic out there in case anybody wanted to stop in. Skip Stewart's in the house. Maurice Cason's in the house. Palmetto Cats. Kevin's in the house. In case anybody wanted to stop in and hang out, chit-chat with me for a little bit, ask questions, comments, concerns, opportunities, thoughts on your mind. But yeah, just a little bit about me and hunting. I had a couple guys ask me questions like, you deer hunt? Man, actually, I used to be probably one of the most diehard deer hunt. I used to be pretty much diehard about deer hunting as I am now about catching catfish. And some of my buddies are like, man, what are you doing going fishing? That's the rut. It's hunting season. Put the fishing poles down. It's over. No, it's just getting good. I'm excited. But just some of my health issues I've got going on. Being up in a tree stand isn't safe for me at this time. And so being in a boat, as long as I got somebody with me, I got the big deep V. That's actually the purpose why I bought that boat. And it's working out perfectly. So I fish, therefore I am. John Boy's Catfishing. Jeff Barker's in the house. One Ton Fishing Club. Hey, fantastic job the other night on the giveaway. Thought that was cool. A bit cooler if I had picked the right number, but that happens. Kathmandu. Let me get it back over here. Post the link. That way, if you all want to jump in, you can. But well, maybe I can, maybe I can't. Hopefully my fat fingers ain't in the way of the screen here. I can't get the. There it is. Maybe here we go. All right. So there's the link. anybody wants to hop in, hang out, shoot the breeze with me. I'm actually planning on getting up crack of dawn and heading back out and chase another big Ohio whitetail. Heading to southern Ohio tomorrow, down to Meigs County. A buddy of mine, and going to tag team it up, head down there, take advantage of gun season while I was in. Normally I'm tagged out by now. Normally I'm done and making fun of the city slickers that take the grandpa's shotgun out for a day and they're a deer hunter. But PD's in the house. PD, thanks for stopping in. Not having a guest on the show like this, I kind of got ADD. I can just jump all around the place and not have anybody pull me back center. Stan Smith's in the house. Stan the man. Mike Chavez. Man, that guy makes me hungry. Makes me hungry. So one of the things we was wanting to talk about was winter stuff. I know we kind of started on a little bit. I think Mark kind of disguised his Shadow Friday night as a geared up for wintertime. But we got kind of off track, and it was A-okay. We had a great time, as always, with Mark. So let's see who else we got. Oh, I missed. Let's see. LG Bass. That's what I'm. Brandon Cross is in the house. Looks like Betty Cross is in the house at the same time. Are you guys in the same house? Danny is in the house. Sorry, y'all. My phone's going way faster than I got a tablet here that's got everything on it, but phone's way faster. So one of the things I wanted to mention, and I made a little video very early in my YouTube days, but it came to mind today because a buddy of mine that we was hunting with, his boat was sitting out, and it's sitting out in the weather, and he still had the motor propped up in the air, whichever way you consider propped up in the air. He had his motor kicked up in the air on the transom saver, as many of us do, but sitting out, still, taking on a lot of water, back there where the prop is. And I have personally had that happen where that water gets down in there and freeze, and it will bust out the side of your lower unit. And that is a terrible feeling when it was 100% preventable. Fin Seeker TV. What's up, buddy? So when you're coming off the lake, water, river, reservoir, whatever you're doing, or if it's just sitting outside, when you come out of the water, tilt that motor down, try to let as much of that water out as completely possible before you put it up and put it on your transom saver and take it home. Now, if you're putting it in a barn garage or something like that, fantastic. If you're not fortunate enough to have storage like that, then you may want to keep it tilted down through the colder days so that you don't end up accumulating water down in there and allow it to freeze. So just something, lower mine, drain it, then spray it with WD-40. Brandon Cross is probably one of the best I've seen when it comes to preventative maintenance. He takes the extra time to make sure everything's good mechanically on his equipment. I think it's a lesson we could all learn from Mr. Cross, to be 100% honest with you. He does his due diligence when it comes to taking care of his stuff. He'd be a great person to buy something off of. I've done winter fishing in the past with light gear. How does the cold affect the heavier cat rods? Brandon, last year we didn't have the coldest of winters, and I'll be honest, it was my first winter I fished all the way through, and I saw no difference in the fishability, castability. I caught some nice fish through the winter last year, and I saw no difference in the performance of the rods compared to spring, summer, fall as I did in the winter. So of all the things to worry about, I would probably mark that one off your list. It doesn't seem to be an issue. Now, somebody else has anything about that, especially Lyle. Lyle's expert rod builder, knows about building materials up and down. So Lyle may actually have 2 cents to say on whether the extreme cold will have a effect on certain materials. But so far, and the gear I use, no issues. And so But some of the other things that came to mind, I actually had this all written down, and I left it in the truck, so I'm going to wait. But some other things, I seen somebody post earlier today. It was William Matthew from Catfish Code. You guys may not know who he is yet. I'm going to try to get him on the show, but he's actually a very good fisherman. He does have a YouTube channel. He hasn't done a whole lot with it, but the content that he has is pretty good, and he knows his stuff. He's actually one of the guys right now that's able to catch and find and catch fish when the rest of us, except for a handful, are struggling. So I'm on that struggle bus, and man, I need to find the door and get off. But so anyway, he's another good one. I got sidetracked just that fast. Does anyone know about boats, and do they have some kind of antifreeze to dump in there? JP3, what part of the boat are you talking about? Because there are some things that you got to keep in mind. For one, down in the bottom of the back of your boat will always hold a little bit of water, especially your bilge pump, or if you have a live well pump. Sometimes those will have just enough water in them to freeze and bust. And when you go to take your boat out, your plug's in, but you're taking on water because the inlet for your live well has busted. And you're going to continue to take on water until you run it back to the bank, because there's nothing you can do. As an emergency, I think I've got 4 or 5 boat plugs between my boat and my truck. I should never, ever have an issue with having a boat plug. But in the instance of an emergency like that, have a couple extra plugs on hand in case you do need to. I mean, if it's cold enough to bust, it's going to be cold water. But if you got to put your arm down in there and get that hole plugged up, or if you're lucky enough to be able to reach it from the inside, depending on your boat setup, you got to stop that water from coming in. And I personally know some folks that have just about lost their boats entirely for that exact same reason. Is they were not able to, the live well pump froze, busted, and about sank their boat. So that's one thing to keep in mind. You want to try to get everything as dry as possible, as the waters tend to freeze. My boat, once it gets down below 20 degrees, my steering cables are a pain in the butt. So I'm actually due for an upgrade. But Betty, thanks for putting that catfish code link up there. I appreciate that. Like I said, he's a pretty good guy. I know Skip's been fishing with him. I know me and him have talked about getting out, going together. Just hadn't made a plan and made a commitment yet, basically. Lyle says, had stay-bill in my boat almost 3 years, and it started right up and ran perfect. Yeah, stay-bill will help a ton when it comes to keeping your fuel system up and good. Everyone's got different things. Back when I used to winterize my boat, thinking I wasn't going to, I would run stay-bill through the tank, and then I would start the motor on the hose at home, and then I would disconnect the fuel cable and try to run all the fuel out of the carburetors as I possibly could. And that was one of the steps I took for winterizing. But stay-bill was in the system when I did that. Skip says he's a great guy. Like I said, Skip was able to fish with him and have a good time. So where's the bait right now? Right. So that's the problem, is trying to find the bait. And so the bait is moving. All right. The bait's moving because the temperatures are dropping. The Ohio River this weekend was high 40s. So 48, 49 degrees, depending on where you're sitting. I know some of the other lakes. I know Hoover in Ohio here was down to like 45 this week, or this weekend. So temperatures are getting down there. So your bait fish, bait's going to be in deeper water until the sun comes out. All right. in my experience, 9 times out of 10, you get a good sunny day. And if you got sandbars, you got shallow creeks, you got, if the water's down or whatever, you got marinas that are, shallow, then that's where the bait will go. It's just a little bit warmer. It may only be a degree, maybe 2 degrees. Brandon Cross knows where the bait is. Yes, he does. He's been doing pretty good. But in my experience, later in the day, that's where I seem to be able to get my bait. Sorry, I had a message pop up on my screen. I'm gonna be pretty careful about making sure nothing pops up on my screen that shouldn't be. Congratulations, Tim from Chesapeake Bay, just hit 200 subs. He's gonna be doing a rod and reel giveaway soon. Holy smokes, man! I'm coming up on 500 and I didn't even realize it. Me and Chad was having a little chit chat last night about me and him trying to stay ahead of each other. But yeah, I'm coming up on 500 and I didn't even realize it. So that's awesome. That's awesome to see the channel grow. I'm glad I've got a lot of new names. It tickles me that I see a lot of new names popping in. So hopefully I'm doing something right. But yeah, I'm coming up on 500 and I'm trying to think of a good giveaway. Got to figure out what's in my budget. I'd give away the house if I could, but I can't. But I've got a couple things I'm trying to figure out. Chad, knock it off. Chad's trying to get me back. He thinks if he can send something to me and pop up on my screen, but I'm going to open everything on this device. Let's see. Somebody say Justin's Fishing Fetish is in the house. Justin, what's up, brother? So Norm says 500 subscriber boat trip with Roger. That's actually not a bad idea. I love fishing with new folks. Honestly, I really enjoy it. It'd be kind of hard if they was like far away. I don't know how far I could go. But yeah, that's you're going to give. I'm not sure what that even means. I'm going to leave that one alone. Anyway, Justin's in the house here. Sean T is in the house. And Stephen Corley. All right, so back to wintertime, cold stuff. One, in my opinion, one of the best things that you can invest in is cold weather gear for your body. Obviously your safety gear, making sure that your boat checks out, making sure, make sure you're safe on the water. But investing in yourself is a huge, it's a huge commitment. It's hard to do. I had a hard time biting the bullet and buying the gear I bought. I ended up buying last year the Cabela's Guidewire Extreme Series, and I'll tell you, I have loved it every day since. It has kept me warm and dry. I mean, extreme cold, you can need to layer up, but it has kept me dry throwing cast net on cold mornings. It has kept me dry in rain. But it's expensive, and it don't have to be that expensive. Matter of fact, I think it was Wayne Matthew that I saw posted. He bought I think it's a Frog Togs guide series, and it's not the typical Frog Tog wear that you'll get. It's pretty tough stuff. It's right up there with a lot of the top dollar stuff, but it's a lot more affordable. What's average cost, Brandon? To be honest with you, anywhere between $150 and $250 per piece is what I'm going to call average. For the good stuff. Now you can find other stuff that might be just as good, but just bought a Buddy heater. Super excited. I'll get back to that in a second. But you can find other gear that's cheaper and may hold up the same grade. What I bought after doing a bunch of research is the decision I made, but it's not for everybody. If that's kind of stuff, it wasn't in my budget. I just did it anyway. my wife, she was like, "What the heck?" Ask for forgiveness, not permission, right? But yeah, the buddy heater. So I didn't have a buddy heater. I had one of the heaters that go on top of one of the 20-pound propane cylinders like you use for your grill. And the first time I ever used it I was fishing up in Hoover with my girls, and they were cold and they wanted a heater. So I took a heater, and the way the wind was blowing that way, that heat off that heater kept blowing right across the back of my neck and my ear every now and then. And I was like, man, that feels pretty good. Why have I never done this before? And so now I'm going to make sure that heater is ready to go. Because even the other day when I fished with Janice, it was a high like 54 degrees, but it took forever to get there. And she was pretty cold. Roger, will we ever see you in a kayak? Norm, I've been kayaking, around here locally. I will fish, I'll usually fish for small fish or whatnot out of it. Fishing for big fish out of a kayak, probably not. I'm going to go on a limb and say that my balance issues and stuff that I deal with would make that a horrible day. And I'm trying to get this up here again, but it will not let me. I'm going to say that would probably not turn out well. But I've fished for other things that there's a lake if anybody's still interested in hopping in with me, hanging out. But no, trophy or catfishing out of the kayak probably ain't going to happen for me. But just because of my situation, because honestly, I think it's super cool. I think it's awesome to be able to get in all them little nooks and crannies that you could find and get yourself in on them kayaks that you just can't get to in a boat. I would love watching, River Certified, Kayak Mike, kayak catfishing with Justin. Watching these guys get into every little, nook and cranny and pull in the fish. I mean, they catch big fish too. But being able to do all that is going to be tough. Look at here. I finally got a taker. I kept throwing the bait out there saying what would bite. And
what's going on, Roger?
What's up, buddy?
How you doing, man? Seen you throwing that out there. I figured I'd hop in, say hello to everybody, see how you're doing. Talk to you a little bit about some winter fishing. You were just talking about kayaks, I know. Even changed it up today. We're one of my favorite hats of all time.
Looky there.
It's like the fourth one I've owned, to be honest with you guys. I go through these pretty good in the summer. They get kind of messed up, but I figured I'd do it. Everybody, how's everybody doing out there? Hello, everybody, again in chat. What's going on? So, Roger, you started talking in the beginning, and I wanted to corner you on this about getting in your boat or getting your boat out winter fishing and stuff. The reason why I asked is coming home today from doing a bunch of work stuff, guess what? The ponds are iced over as of today. So it officially starts December 1st, 2020. That's another thing. It's 2020, man. It's December last year. Everybody knock on wood, do your praying and everything that it's going to get better next year. But what do I want to do if I'm still taking my boat out now? You got more experience in this than me, and I know Brandon, you had mentioned he does.
So from start to finish, one of the things you want to start doing now is you want to carry some salt or sand, kitty litter, anything that can help you on them boat ramps. The guy ahead of you comes out, and they don't take long for that to ice over. Check it before you try backing down all the way in there before you slip. And next thing you know, you got a truck in the water, and that's gonna shut down your fishing day.
I was out there 2 weeks ago. That day I actually caught that bowfin, and when I got out there, it was 30 degrees out, and the docks were iced over just from the dew in the morning. Yep. Man, if I did one of those Charlie Chaplin dances up on the dock, if I only had my GoPro running, it'd have been fantastic. It'd have been GoPro. It'd have been YouTube gold. I'd have posted that stuff all over the place. But yeah, go on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to catch you there to let your people know that even if there is an ice out there, to be careful. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I know. Me being an older gentleman, I got to watch myself.
yeah. There was actually a point in time last year, Skip Stewart and I mean, we had shovels. I don't mean like snow shovels because those ain't going to help on the ice and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We had spade shovels and everything else out there trying to chisel our way out because where we were fishing, it was a little canal that's set way back. We could see the water was clear. We just had to get to it, and so we were pretty determined. Actually, I think we ended up going ahead and having to put out somewhere else because we just couldn't get on the water. But I've also been in a situation where I've seen guys try to back the trailer in on ice, and it just jacks up your trailer lights, rips your license plate off, and all that, trying to get in there. So
not just that, I can imagine just not being able to stop.
Yeah.
Once you get that momentum going, man, what's going to stop you until you get like too far in the water? I mean, until the water's, thawed the bottom. Well, I don't know. You ever run into something that dangerous where even after you kitty littered and salted the ramps, you still end up sliding in there, or is it a pretty safe bet to do that?
I've been pretty fortunate. I haven't had that I can remember anyway. I haven't had a situation where I was worried about the worst situation I've been in is once it's been flooded real bad and the water starts to go down, just some thick mud. Matter of fact, I think one of the thickest mud scenarios I was in, I believe, was with Chad. We took my boat out fishing down around Meldal Pool, and I think the mud was to the axles, and but we still got it out there.
Did Chad send you that too?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't open it on that. I opened it on this.
I'm not sharing my screen anymore. I learned that the hard way. Check out Fishing with the Chad. Check out last Friday's Black Friday special if you're wondering what we're talking about. It'll go down in infamy if you haven't already. So, well, that's all good advice. What about the lower end?
Hang on just a second. Hey, Jim for Buckeye Catfishing says that Mark's volume's high and Rogers is low.
I saw that. I'm kind of taking a step back. I got one of these podcaster mics, so it's probably picking up a little better. Ask them if that's better. I kind of backed off the mic a little bit.
All righty. Jason Blackburn says that's my boat rant, Muskrat. Jason Blackburn, I haven't fished besides that one or two trips I did with Chad this year. I haven't fished Meldal at all, and I actually really like that pool. I want to learn more about above Meldal Pool because I generally fish the dam itself and then below. But I actually want to learn more about fishing the upper side of it because I'm hearing that there's some good holes up in there and good fish to be found if you know what you're looking for. So I'd like to get up in there. I did see Ryan. Ryan threw out an invite. He says if I got time to come on down and fish. I plan on doing a lot of that. I plan on hooking up with a lot of folks as things kind of turn the corner here for the first of the year. Things are going to get a whole lot better, I'm hoping. So I plan on doing a lot of different things.
You and me both.
So
new year, hopefully everything will change it once again. So yeah, back to the lower end. Hopefully I sound better. If you guys can holler out or shout out in the chat and let me know if I'm kind of blowing your eardrums out or what.
Jim said we're all good. So
okay, cool.
So what do you mean? Would you say lower end?
Yeah, lower ends. Being full of water, hauling them home, having them freeze up on you.
Yeah.
I guess, my thinking is if it's freezing already and you're doing 50 miles an hour on the way home, that isn't going to help. Last thing I want to do is freeze my lower end and crack it and have to, replace the whole darn thing.
So the tip I have is that you want to lower that and you want to be on the ramp when you do it because you're going to get the most pitch out of that as you possibly can. So before you put that thing up, drop that motor all the way down, as far as you can, and try to get every drop of that water out as you can. Now, if there's a little bit of water in there, that's not going to freeze up and bust. Mm-hmm. But dropping that motor down before you put it up to take it home, that's going to be key.
Brandon mentioned WD-40. Is he actually spraying that in there? Or?
I've got it. Brandon, if you want to clarify for us a little bit, where are you putting the WD-40? Be easy. Don't. What are you doing with the WD-40?
Yeah, Mike Greenwell is also asking, so that's good. I'm guessing now. I could be wrong. I mean, they got the nozzle on it, right?
That could be a big hack for us that I don't know about.
When I went fishing with Jonathan this weekend over at Hook Catfish, and talking to him about it because he does a lot of winter fishing.
Yeah,
does a lot of travel on that, and he says he actually bumps his motor after he gets it out. He drains it and then bumps it a couple times before he takes off, before he puts it out. But I don't know what that's going to do to an impeller, but, he hasn't had to change one yet.
If you're just bumping it, I can't imagine. It also would push water out of the lines, so your pee hole and all that. Spray around the prop intake holes and the speedo holes. So
I'll give it a shot. Can't hurt.
No.
I spray my my Ulterra trolling motor down with silicone WD-40. I use that stuff because I know when they freeze, that's a problem with those belts. Because, the up and down's all belt driven and stuff. And, when you got the silicone spray on there, because it dries pretty good. It's not wet. It's not moist. It's not going to collect dirt. But the ice isn't going to stick to it. So that I know for a fact to help. So there's another tip for everybody out there for winter fishing. I meant to go over all this stuff on my show on Friday, but we kind of got off with Creo, and it was a heck of a show. And thanks for everybody for coming by. But yeah, I meant to mention some of that stuff too. So
no, that's good. I seen the I seen the opportunity there, and we didn't get to end up finishing that topic. So I thought we could continue the conversation tonight and go from there because it's been cold this week and cold the last couple of days.
We got lucky on Sunday when we went out. We were up in Wisconsin. We went up to Mendota. I wanted to get a good feel of it before the trip, which is happening in May. We're going to post it. Well, we have the dates. We're looking for places for people to stay. A list of hotels and campgrounds and stuff to help people up before we actually post the event on the page, and we'll go from there. But temperature was it was above freezing. It was barely above freezing, but the winds were like 25 miles an hour, so it was chilly. We had 2-3 foot chop out there, so that was something. I don't know. We were thinking about going out this weekend, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I'm thinking I'm going to try to get out this weekend. I actually had a little bit of engine trouble the other day when I was running it. It sounded like it was either sucking air. It sounds like it's sucking air from somewhere. The engine was surging. Hey, there's Dinks Outdoors. Hey, buddy, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you being here.
What's going on, Dinks?
Motors was kind of surging a little bit on me, like it was sucking air from somewhere. So I need to pop the cowl off and take a look at things.
So you had like a vacuum leak or something, you mean?
That's what it felt like. It fired right up and run, but once I got up on plane, it didn't act like it was getting enough fuel. So
maybe a fuel filter or something. That's the first thing I usually check.
Yeah, I can't imagine it being severe, but I'll take a look at it anyway. If all goes well, I think me and Chad are going to try to fish against each other Saturday.
Let me know. I'll be happy. He already sent me a message. I'm like, I think I'm free. I'll double check. But yeah, Chad, sorry I didn't get back to you about that. I am open on Saturday for you, bud.
Are you guys fishing Sunday?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't think so. I'm looking at the weather forecast. I don't think I'm going to head out.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
If I do anything, it'll be at night. I'm going to go do some walleye fishing at night from the bank, a couple places up north here. So that's my plan. I'm on the walleye quest. I'm on a meat quest.
Hey, we got somebody else want to come on in and say hi. We'll make room for you.
Stan the man.
Stan the
What's
man.
up, everybody?
What's up, buddy?
Not much, Roger. I couldn't pass up this chance. This is the first time I had a chance to say hello to you face to face, so I couldn't pass that opportunity up.
No, man, I appreciate it, man. Love you being in here, stopping by.
Well, thank you very much.
What's going on, Stan?
Not too much, Mark. What's going on with you? I've had a little experience with winter fishing. Used to live in upstate New York, so Most of my winter fishing was ice fishing, but you know, a big thing with winter fishing, anything you can do to block the wind. I used to bring my my hunting blind, my hunting tent. I used to bring that right out on the ice, anchor it down. But you can do the same thing from the bank. You know, that is the number one key, I think, is blocking that wind, and that will make you feel a lot better in winter fishing.
Stay dry. Staying dry is the biggest one.
Yeah, so that's actually one of the topics I wanted to take a look at was for bank fishing. So, you know, naturally, because I'm a boat fisherman, and that's the first thing I think about, selfishly. But what about bank fishing, guys? So, what are some of the things that you guys do differently on the bank, as opposed to, you know, to the warmer weather? You know, do you guys worry about icing up on your reels? Do you guys do anything to the reels? Any favorite gear that you guys use on the banks?
Down here I'm in Virginia, so we don't get very much. You know, we get a little bit of freezing weather here and there, so I don't got to really worry too much about icing up. There is some days you're fishing out there and it's in the 30s, and you know, like I said, the biggest thing for me is just blocking the wind, dressing right, dressing layers. As far as equipment,
hand warmers.
It's hand warmers is a good one. Those where you pop it open and it's
I literally have like 6 bags of these.
Those are worth their weight in gold, especially the big body ones. So, you know,
that's what these are. These are the body ones.
Cold in a hurry.
You know, Roger, you're getting a lot of feedback from me, so I'm going to let you go. Guys, have a great night. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Mark.
Have a good night, Mark.
Hey, I just want to say hi to Uncle Josh, One Ton Fishing Club. Thanks, brother, for stopping in. Catfish Regulators. Thank you for being here. Yeah, on the big body heaters, the big body warmers, you know, a lot of people don't, well, maybe they do, but putting them on your back or putting them on your kidney basically is, one of the fastest ways to heat your body up and keep you warm. It doesn't feel like it because you don't feel it instantly, like you do when you put it on your hands and things like that. But, you know, getting that back on your back right there and getting that on your kidneys and heating it up, warming up your blood as it transfers through your body.
Well, not only with warming you up, just getting that getting some heat on your back for anybody with back issues.
Oh yeah.
You know, you get your back gets going, that'll send you home quick. But that nice heat on your back there will keep it loosened up a little bit. That'll help you stay out there a couple more hours also.
Yes, absolutely. And I tell you what else will help keep you out there longer. Something warm to eat.
Thermos of coffee.
Huh? Yeah.
Thermos of coffee. And
I've been out fishing with Skip Stewart before, and he busted out a little pot and pan, and he started cooking chili on the boat, heating chili up.
You're speaking our language. I mean, you know, look at I didn't get this size for nothing. You know, we like our trip this past Sunday when one time Josh and Art and LG Bass and Timmy from Chesapeake Bay Catfishing came. We ate all day.
Yeah.
We had the warm breakfast sandwiches in the morning. We had some smoked pepperoni sticks. Timmy's wife made, she's from Korea, so she made this Korean bulgogi. And
bulgogi, man, my mother-in-law is Korean, so I love bulgogi.
Oh boy, I tell you, that stick to the rib food like that. Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, you put that on some white rice, and man, you're good to go.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, most of you have seen. I think on my live stream the other day, I busted it out. I got a little grill for the boat, and man, I tell you, when you're out there on the water and you get chilly and you get cold, and you fire up that grill and heat up. I don't care if it's a hot dog, smoked sausage. This weekend we had brats because Justin left a pack of brats on the boat when he went fishing with me the other day. So we had leftover. We had his brats, But man, I tell you, as soon as you bite into something warm after you've been cold all morning, it's like restarting the whole day.
Yes, it is.
It's like an instant energy jump, you know, and it's just amazing how quickly that'll change your pace. Don't change.
Yes,
It didn't change the bite any.
Yeah, we didn't. It didn't change our bite any this past Sunday either. But my son is out scouting today, and 1 Ton and LG I think are out there. He caught 2 already on the other side of the bank from where we were fishing. So I guess I brought him to the wrong side of the river. You know what I'm saying? But
oh yeah, here we go. There's Betty. She says, I bought me a boat stove today. You will never regret it. You will never regret it. Unless you burn your boat down. You got to be careful.
But like you said, even with that little stove, even if you just use it to warm your hands up a little bit, you know, ice fishing up there, we used to do that, bring the stoves and everything right out there, and you know, it's a good way. If you're careful, you can warm up your gloves, or if your gloves are wet, it dries out your gloves pretty quickly.
I've been in that situation where I've had to do that. I've actually seen pictures where people use their buddy heaters to heat up hot dogs and all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah, we had the propane just screwed on the top, and it's got that little heating thing like that, and yeah, you can sit there with the hot dog over it.
Yeah, Brandon says brats on the river and didn't even share. Brandon, I was anchored up for a while. I never saw you. We was hanging out.
I just see where Michael Murillo put in there, said that we were hanging out on the side of the river with all the food. That's always the right side of the river.
That's right. I don't care where you're from. If that's the side the food's on, we're going. All right. Just a little camp stove I can store easily on a boat. And that's the thing. I've gotten, man, I probably got half a dozen different stoves that things I put on on my pontoon boat. I had a lot more room.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, but you know, one that's small and compact. I believe this grill I've got it's just a little Coleman deal, and I think it's only 12 inches around. It's not, but you'd be surprised. Oh yeah, you'd be surprised that you could do it 12 inches. You know, I mean, I had all them brats and stuff on there. Dang it. Yeah, but yeah, it's plenty of room, and it flips over and has a griddle on the other side. I mean, I can make bacon and eggs if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Battery operated heater socks. Betty, those have been around since before you was born. See, makes it sound like a new thing.
And Palmetto says, just keep moving. Yeah, that's a good tip there for keeping warm.
Yeah, I don't know how many times he sat down in that 24-hour live feed. I popped in and out several times, and I think he was standing every single time I was there. He was always on his feet. I don't know that I'm sure at some point he had to sit down. You know, I heard that 3 o'clock in the morning spell got a little iffy, but yeah, moving around definitely keep you warm. The heated coats, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about, because I'll be honest with you, I looked at like one heated coat, and now there's like 50,000 showing up on my Facebook. So, you know what I mean? Because you know how it is.
Yep.
So now I've got all these coats popping up, and it's like the same coat by like 10 different prices.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. So I was kind of anxious to see if anybody had personal experience, whether you bought one of these off actual Facebook, because I don't buy anything off Facebook, but ones that they've actually bought, used, and wore that they can contest to. Battery heated pants on eBay says Mike's Outdoors and Adventures. That's not a bad.
You know, if I could find him in my size, I might get it.
Yeah.
I gotta admit though, I used to cheat when I was ice fishing up there, because we lived right on the lake, walked out the front door, and it was about 40-foot walk to the dock, and there was just a 1-lane dirt road that I had to cross. My dock was right there. So we'd go out on the ice, set the tip ups out and stuff up there. We'd stay out if we didn't get any bite. We'd say, all right, we'd head back to the house, sit up in the dining room at the table, drinking coffee and watching the tip ups out the window. So that's the way you cold weather fish.
Yeah. Let's try to catch a couple of these other comments down here. Says Brand says Amazon bought his girlfriend one. She goes outside with just the inner portion on and roasts. So yeah, but what kind? That's the thing. Just like last night, went on daggone it, I just lost his name, on Catfish Weekly. Man, that fella's really good too. Man. Shoot. Anyway, the light he had, I went and looked for it and I found it. And it was like $52 with, the pole and everything. But, Brian from Flint Hill sent me a message and we was talking back and forth. And heck, that thing was like $20. And you could just buy a painter pole or something else and rig it up however you want. But just the light itself, the remote and the, alligator clips to hook it up, it was like $25.
It was David Martin.
David Martin, yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, that was a heck of a light. Now I use LEDs across the back of my boat. I got them down in the splash well to where they won't affect my vision. But there are times in the summer that even with it back there, those blue LEDs I've got will bring in the bugs like crazy. And having a light, 10, 12 feet overhead would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, Fin Seeker TV. What's up, Jeremy? How you doing, brother? Congratulations, Ryan. Looking forward to seeing your Muddy River gear. Let's see, did Ryan win something? I can't win squat. That's because I can't get away from D and Betty. If I
Ryan,
we'd have a chance.
Ryan took first place in the kayak. He does the month-long kayak catfishing tournament. Yeah, he did a hell of a job.
Kayak Mike's post earlier today. He was posting the standings, and I seen Ryan had taken first place. So congratulations, buddy.
From talking to him a couple times, he puts his time on the water. So,
that's the impression.
Number one.
That's the impression I get. That dude puts his time in the water. Fishing with Paula Smith. Talk about somebody who puts in their time on the water. It's hard to beat Paula Smith. Well, she has been everywhere here lately. I know she's been off work a little bit and enjoying her time. But man, she's making the best out of it. I tell you that, I'm jealous. But I love it. I love seeing her out there. And man, the fish they continuously catch is just good stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing. She popped into my live. She'd just gotten back from a trip to I think Wheeler Lake.
Yeah.
I hadn't even unpacked yet, and she's in there talking catfish with us. So that was
catfishing, buddy. I didn't see you come in, so I missed you going the way in. Jeremy, thanks for being here, brother. Chucky's in the house. At least, yeah.
Oh, Elston.
Elstan's in the house. Happy birthday, brother. I know it was a couple days ago, but I didn't get to see you then. So hope you had a good one.
There we go. There's Paula heading out fishing tomorrow again.
Heading out fishing. She's a busy lady, man. You have a hard time. You have a hard time between as much research and study about the biology and the about the conservation and stuff of the catfish, and then the time she spends on the water. She just sleeps, eats, and breathes catfishing. And kids,
yeah, and
she loves those grandkids. You can't.
Well,
you
and
can't
the results show. I mean, that's people create their own luck. You have the knowledge and you put the time in. You just create your own luck out there. So
that is 100%. Time on the water will win every time. You can get lucky. Don't get me wrong. There's guys that go out there and get lucky. But time on the water is what's gonna make you successful, and it's gonna set you apart. She also makes great hype videos. Hey, Jeremy, you're right, man. Some of those videos that she's made this year have been really, really cool. They make you think a little bit. It's just it's a different pace from what we're used to seeing. You know what I mean? But it's good. It's good to have that type of diversity. To have somebody that can make you think a little bit more than what we do.
Yeah, and she's been on a lot of people. She's been popping in on everybody lately. We really do appreciate that, Paula.
Yeah,
you passing on the things that you pass on to us. Thank you so much.
Paula is one of my favorites. We talk a lot outside of the YouTube world, and she's a heck of a person. Mike Greenwell, did you get your boat straightened out? I seen where you had broken your steering cables, and you may have had update, and I missed it if you have, but just curious of whether he's able to get your boat straightened. You just now got that thing back to working. You sound like you got the kind of luck I got. I'm just now back to getting this Muskrat in the water and running, and the other day I started having some issues, fuel. So I don't imagine it's a big deal. I'll trace it down. Becca's in the house.
Hello, Rebecca.
Rebecca, hello. Thanks for joining in. Paula Smith says, what'd she say? She's
been researching about sinkers. Y'all will love it.
Sinkers. Yeah, that's a good one because we don't talk about it. We just throw them out there. And I don't think anybody, I'm trying to get this on here. There we go. I don't think anybody really thinks about the long-term effect of just how much lead we're leaving on the bottom of the rivers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go on a limb and say that's at least mentioned somewhere, because her brain and heart evolves around conservation, and I think that will have something to do with it. Break out another 1,000 boat, Jason Ward. You are 100% correct.
Well, I know people, speaking of the lead in the water, I know people were probably laughing by that my live a couple of weeks ago when I snagged and lost almost a pound of sinkers in before we even got them in the rod holders. And I switched. I know people had to be laughing, but I was using rocks, switched over to my rubber band and rocks as sinkers. And we didn't lose, believe it or not, then we didn't lose another rock the rest of the day. But,
yeah. I've been there. I've used everything from lug nuts to spark plugs to, I mean, I ain't kidding. When I was, starting out or whatnot, I used what I could. Right now, I got a buddy who keeps me pretty stocked up on lead. I got to get another mold or two, but he's got the hook up on lead. So as long as I pour the lead and keep it stocked on sinkers, he keeps getting the lead. So it's a pretty sweet deal. Yeah, Jeremy, I saw that the other day. He said he sold 2 race cars and bought a boat thinking it would be cheaper. Wrong. What were you thinking, bus driver? Oh, those guys got a little inside.
That is at least the one advantage that the bank fishing has, is that we don't have to worry about busting out that other 1,000 to go fish on the bank.
That is true. That is true, but I did my fair share of bank fishing starting out, and I'll continue to run a boat as long as I can afford it. I don't know how much that'll be at this rate, but I can, as long as I can get it out there, I swear I'm going to be.
Without a doubt, like just this past weekend, we had 18 rods out on the water on that one section of bank, and it was pretty obvious after a while that it just wasn't going to happen. But to get all those packed up, to go pack in the cars, to try to drive to another spot. Yeah. A boat, it's just reel them in and you're going to the next spot. So, there's the pluses and minuses for both of them.
Yeah, I like I said, I did my bank fishing for quite a while, and once I started boat fishing, as long as I can afford to run my boat, that's what I'm going to continue to do. JP3 says stockpile of lead sheets and molds to make sinkers. Thank goodness, because I lose enough. Yeah, save me some. Paul Smith says it is cool about how many way and types of sinkers. I haven't hung it up in a while, trying out a sinker that will blow your mind. Ooh, cliffhanger.
She's throwing it out there, huh? Getting us all excited.
Brandon and I used to drag race. I switched to a safer sport, but obviously not cheaper. Oh boy. I spend more than that per year. Stan, don't listen to Kristen. Uh-oh. Now we're telling ourselves. All right, Mike. That's kind of what I thought. Mike says his motor's running great now. The steering cable issue, as soon as he gets it taken care of, he'll be out fishing. I've got to update my I need to upgrade my steering cables as well. They don't, like I said, they don't when it gets 22, 20 degrees, nah, they do not want to move. I put the force to them, like they're gonna come apart. But the squirrel is there. There was a country song about a pontoon. I don't recall a single note. One about a bank. Oh boy. Now that song's gonna be stuck in my head for I don't know how long.
JP3 saying I used to do truck pull, and fishing is still not cheaper.
What was it you used to do?
JP3 said he used to do truck pulls.
Oh, I got
it. Fishing is a little cheaper.
Yeah. So what about you, Stan? What's what when you're not out fishing and when you're not hanging out with all of us, what other talents or passions do you have?
Cooking, of course. I managed restaurants for over 20 years, so always into that. And my granddaughters, that's the biggest part of my time right there. They got grandpa right around the little finger, but they're good girls. So
yeah.
Used to watch a lot of sports and stuff, but basically that the fishing thing and YouTube now kind of just kind of pulled me up off the couch, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's the majority of what I do now.
Michael Murillo says, I know it is only one piece of the puzzle, but we could have a chat about only sinkers. Last year broke off more than 60 times, and the year before wasn't much better. Bank fishing isn't cheap for me. Yeah, that stinks. That's one advantage of being in a boat. For the most part, I can drift the boat back and get my gear back. Obviously, not always is that going to work, but a lot of the time I do. It's one of the things I like about spot locking. You get hung up way back behind the boat. If you got an anchor 100 feet out in front of the boat, you got to, you got to let all that line back out and then go all the way back up and get your anchor and then drift all the way back. Whereas spot lock, you get all the rods in, you just turn it off and you start drifting back.
Right back. How do you like that spot lock is a pretty decent feature there, huh?
Yeah. There's a time and place for it. And for me, anywhere between 1 to 2 mile an hour current, I really like it. I've got the 36 volt 112 Tarova and the Big Mac Daddy. I want it.
Yeah.
So I didn't spend that kind of money. I don't have that kind of money, but I actually want it, and crazy. But even a 2 mile an hour current, my trolling motor will run on 3 or 4 to hold me there. And so that's not much strain at all. I fished the other day. I think we fished 10 or 11 hours, and I used spot lock all day. And I checked it when we got off the water. I still had 75% battery life remaining, and I spot locked the entire day.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but when I get in the, as the waters start to rise, I'll throw an anchor. I can't run the spot lock all day on 8 or 9 and take a chance of running it dead and not having it if I need it. And I do have a kicker motor on the back of my boat, so that also adds a lot of insurance, at least to ease your mind when you're out there. If you did have an emergency, it's going to take me a while because that kicker motor ain't fast, but
Yeah.
I will get there.
Yeah, we used to fish out of a old 87 Bayliner, and that was, you're always worried about that. We started bringing an extra charged battery just in case.
Yeah. JP3 says, I've used a few brands of sinker slides and some broke, but the best ones I've used have been the Rig Wrap Easy sinker slides. So I actually have the opposite opinion about that. Anyone else? So I've actually had the worst luck with the Rig Wrap Easy sinker slides. I've had my line get tangled up, because they come on and off on their own. And, you can put them on and take them off the line. It's not something you have to run through the eye, run the line through it originally. You can add them or remove them. I've had them come off. Just how is beyond me. I've had them come off. I've had them get tangled up and twisted so bad that they didn't slide at all because there was extra loops for them. And I've had them break completely off where I brought back the slide, but no sinker.
No.
I always have them in the box because they are nice to have if you're in a situation where you need to add a weight or things like that. But for me, I think what I use the most, I don't think I got them laying here. Maybe I do or don't. I think they're Hooker's Terminal Tackle Easy slides. The old green ones. I had a bunch of junk laying in here while I was tying rigs the other day. You guys know what they look like, but I was just trying to get one out anyway. But yeah, I generally prefer the standard sinker slide. I haven't had any issues. Amazon cheap sinker slides work best for me. Says Catfish and Crappie. The Dale's Tackle sinker slides. I haven't tried the Dale's Tackle ones yet. But I mean, and in my opinion, for the most part, they're all about the same. If you get a cheaper one made, though, your sinker, I think, will break off because I'm throwing 8 to 10 ounces every time. So
I've made sinker slides out of swivels and a coffee stir.
Yeah.
Nip coffee stir, and and it worked fine.
He says JP3 says he likes the Dale's Tackle sinker slides as well.
There was quite a few Dale's Tackle, Confidence in Dale's Tackle out there that was said.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I picked up a bulk pack of the 12-aught Dale's Tackle's hooks when I went to Alabama. I just, you don't know what you're gonna hook in Alabama. You know what I mean? I was only 100 yards away from a 76 pounder, and Doc Lane got to it before I did. But I actually really like those hooks pretty well. I'm pretty stuck on Tackling Cat's 9-aught wide gap circle hooks.
Mm-hmm.
I just really like those. They're pretty stout hook anyway, but they're very sharp and they hold their edge. I think is the reason I like them the most. I think there's other hooks out there that could be a little bit sharper, but they don't stay sharp for long. These hooks, you throw them out there and you're in the rocks and logs and things like that, and you reel them in. These hooks are still sharp. It takes a lot to, so far for me anyway, my personal experience, it takes a lot to knock the edge off of a TK hook. But that being said, I haven't tried them all. I've tried a couple of the Diachi, but I haven't got any of the bigger sizes. The 7/0. I think I've only used like a 5 up until now. So I do want to try them. It seems to be a lot of people's favorites, and I trust most of those guys' opinions. So I want to try them. Just have to wait and see.
I've pretty much stuck with the Gamakatsus because that always worked for me. So, but I would like to try some of the other, especially when I'm using the bigger baits, like a half of a shad, where you're getting the baits as big as your hand. I'd like to try some of the wider gap ones. Maybe go up to like a size 12 just to get that wider gap, so there's better chance of hookup without that big bait getting in the way.
Even on that big bait, as big as it is, I still just hook it right through the front lip. I just hook it right through the front lips. And there are times when I'm running such a big bait that I should probably be using a double hook rig. And I do at times. But
see, and I've always done through the front, right through the lips too. But I've seen some people doing that back hook when they're using like the head piece, and they do that hook in the back. Yeah. To me, I fish mostly rivers with current, and that seems to just twist that sucker right around. But if you get it straight through the bottom and up through the top, that head will just kind of sit in there and just kind of wave back and forth.
Yeah, same for me. I'm fishing river 90% of the time. And so when I hook my bait up, I like to try to figure out what it's going to do in the water. I do not want it to helicopter down there. That's not a natural presentation whatsoever. Twist your line up. I run chain swivels and everything else, and it still will cause a mess. So one of the things, I do it at times. I actually need to do it more often, come to think of it. But the easiest thing to do is just drop that bait down in the water and see what it's going to do.
Yeah.
What it's doing right there next to the boat's basically what it's going to do when you drop it. And if it's starting to spin and propel on you,
you better rehook it. Yep.
Yeah. Bring it back in, rehook it a little bit differently, and check it again. But Palmetto says all you need is TK 9/0 hooks. And, I like them. Mike says, got to run, y'all. Wife will be home any moment from work. She was at urgent care on May Day. Mike, go take care of her since how she's been taking care of everybody else. And to add to that, I know Betty's in here. And I don't know how many other people are in the healthcare field. I know a lot of spouses and significant others are in the healthcare field. And man, if you haven't seen the pain and suffering that they're going through right now, you're not paying attention, because these guys are getting worked to death.
Roger, they were getting worked to death before this happened, and now you throw this on top of it. From a person that has past 10 years of my life, people in the medical field, the nurses, wonderful nurses. I probably wouldn't be here without the awesome care that they've given. So, a lot of respect for healthcare industry workers.
I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of healthcare industry workers that are jumping ship, that have decided that it's just too much. Like you said, it was bad before this started, and now with the added stress and responsibility that has been put on them by the coronavirus is just unbearable. And so a lot of folks have just said, you know what, I think this might be time to look for a different career path. And I can't blame them.
No.
I couldn't for the life of me. I know that, Betty posts at times, some of the crazy days that she's had. Couldn't for the life of me imagine having to go through that every week.
And just knowing the potential of coming into the contact all the time, and you're going to bring that home, or you're going to you know, just that in the back of your head all the time, on top of everything else. Just God bless them. That's all. That's all
Yeah,
I can say.
absolutely, absolutely. Betty says we're all so numb. We need all the thoughts and prayers we can get. Thank you, Betty. Thoughts and prayers are coming from every direction right now. So hope you feel it. I hope it helps a little. I know in the moment it don't mean much. You just got too much going on, but the physical and emotional toll is staggering. God be with you all. Jeremy, you are 100% correct. I got a lot of friends on Facebook that are in the field, and I constantly today I seen a post where a lady said that she I can't remember if it was a relative or had 100 patients today by herself as a nursing home, which doesn't make anything any better. 70 of 100 were COVID patients.
Wow.
Now, how in the world? Man, I'll be honest with you. I just got fired up when I seen it, and I typed, the big old long. I deleted it because I got carried away. I got carried away, and I was like, this poor girl.
Yeah.
You know, but it was just staggering to me that, that anybody could expect that one person to provide any level of care to 100 people is just insane. And then for those patients to think that they can get any type of anything that they need from one person is just mind-blowing. Now, I don't know the whole, which is why I deleted it. I don't know the whole story. Maybe the rest of the staff got COVID and that's the only thing they could do. And this is a one-time scenario. So that's why I deleted my whole thing, because I don't know the details. But you hear stuff like that enough where it's just crazy.
My cousin does that out in Indiana. She's a nursing home nurse like that, and yeah, they had one where a bunch of them were tested positive like on a Friday. So there was like 5 people to do the whole nursing home for the entire weekend.
Oh man!
And because they tested positive, they couldn't go to work, and there was like 5 people that didn't test positive out of their normal staff, and it's like, so the 5 had to try to do what they could for all the people that were there. That just it's not an easy career field, that's for sure.
No. Paula says she had to step away from the career field for because she's only got her mama left and the boys, and she just couldn't take the risk any longer, put them at risk. Betty says we had to place one of our very own nurses on a ventilator last week.
Oh,
was
God.
beyond tough. And that's the kind of stuff that brings you down, that breaks your heart right there. Outside looking in, I can only imagine what you all going through. That's tough to see somebody that's been there just giving it all they've got and helping as many people as they can, and then in return, it's tough. Very tough.
Well, Betty, you can let your fellow nurses know that we are all praying.
Yes.
We're all praying for them. We all appreciate the efforts that y'all put out very, very much.
Brandon says, I'm the rock for my girlfriend, ICU COVID nurse, 9+ months. Man, these ladies and guys doing it day in and day out, 1,000,000% have my fullest and utmost respect. And I stand right next to you, Brandon, on that one. Right next to you, brother. That's tough. And that's the other thing, our responsibility. Cause my wife's been in the field for 10 years. And well, not to go down a big long rabbit hole, but she'd actually decided to switch careers. Now she wasn't being worked like these guys are. Thank goodness. But just being the spouse of somebody who's working like that, or even just trying to be a good friend for somebody that's working like that, man, you really gotta roll up your sleeves and try to help them out, because they're going through more than most of us will ever understand. The mental part is the part that gets them. Physically, they're drained, they're tired, and we could do our part with that. We could help with the housework, and we can help with the chores and things like that. But the mental part, for every person it's different to find out what it is, whether they want to talk about it, whether they don't want to talk about it, whether they just want to hold you and hug you for a little bit, cry on your shoulder, whatever the case may be. It's our jobs to be there for them and give them as much support as we possibly can.
I know I go to the VA hospital here on a semi-regular basis, and one thing I always make sure I do before I leave is just say thank you.
Yeah.
Y'all be surprised how many times they're just like, it just makes their day that somebody said thank you.
Yep. They just don't hear it enough, and they should, to be completely honest. You got it, Betty, but I still hope Shovelhead doesn't win. Mike Chavez says, my granddaughter is a nurse. The other is a police officer. Wow, fantastic. Talking about representing our front line.
There's another career field that, God bless, who could be doing that today. God bless the police.
Yeah, I don't want to go political here. But yeah, the jobs that they're having to put up with and the things that they got to deal with, bad news, man. I tell you, I seen this post the other day and I wanted to steal it and post it, but I didn't. I don't know if it's because I was chicken shit or what, but they said the post went something like, if I see a police officer being attacked or being whatever, I will stop and defend them with my life. And I was kind of like, I don't know, but I feel that way. I just didn't post it because I was like, I don't want to catch much feedback. And so that was a chicken way out of it. But yeah, think about what our police officers and men and women that have to go through day in and day out, and the lack of respect that's being shown for them for doing what they have to do is crazy. Are there bad cops? Yep. There's bad everything. Doesn't matter what it is. There's bad out there. You can't hide from it. You can't ignore it. You've got to learn to adapt and overcome it. And oh boy, I don't want to go down there.
No, I'm sorry. I was just you brought that up, and that's a topic to me too. That we've got the blue stripe flag flying out, and
yep, I got mine on my truck, but man, it's after 9 o'clock already. How the heck did that happen?
Going back to that Shovelhead flag. For those of you that did not see it, that on Facebook that Betty put out with the really high voice, Mark. Oh my gosh! If anybody needs a laugh, you go find that on Betty's page. Oh my goodness, I laughed. I think I laughed for about 15 minutes. The tears were coming down the cheek. I was laughing so hard.
I watched it like 3 or 4 times in a row. There was a word in the second one. It got me. I couldn't understand it. And I watched both of them like 4 or 5 times until my wife's like, what the hell are you doing? What is that?
Duke's mayonnaise and Duke's mayonnaise and Shovelhead is always right or good or something like that.
Yeah. Buckeye says, if I was a cop today, I would get fired. I would stand over someone and say, Semper. Yeah. Yep, that's I'll just leave that alone. But guys, I appreciate everyone being here. It is 9:18 already. Like I said earlier, I am getting up at 3:30 in the morning to go back out and see if I can't chase down a big whitetail. My spot I'm going to tomorrow, I'm kind of just going along because the fellow I'm going with can't go to the other spot I want to go to. So I'm just kind of taking one for the team. But tomorrow evening, I plan on laying a smackdown on something. Something's going down tomorrow night.
Well, I wish you a lot of luck with that.
I appreciate it. Guys, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you all for being here. Stan, thanks for joining in. Mark, thanks for hopping in earlier. I know he's having some feedback issues there. But still 36 people in chat. Man, I hate to leave you hanging. I'm going to be live at 3:30. I'm going to be alive Y'all don't want to see me at 3:30. I think I'm just going to sleep in what I'm wearing now and go. So appreciate everybody with it. What's that?
I was gonna say we've all been there before. Who hasn't done that at least once or twice?
All right, guys. Until next week, stay safe. Keep it real. Boom.
See y'all later.